Welcome back to another episode of Week So. In today's episode, we are going to be continuing the war that started in the last episode and a recap of the last episode. This giant war started, and the fronts are getting crazy. These guys united more and more up against countries are happening. And let's get straight into this. Lion Team is invading straight into a rebel pocket. They're actually doing a lot of illegal things inside of this pocket. They're committing war crimes inside of the pocket, and the gray team is not letting this stand. They're not letting this abuse of the law of their country stand. They're not letting these guys abuse their country anymore. They're here to fight back. The gray team has officially declared that it is an all-out war. Now there's just a lion team pocket here that is getting wiped out slowly and mercilessly until it is gone. Now, something really cool to look for. Just checking out the ideologies there. These guys are a democracy, the first democracy in the world. And people find this new thing like evil and stuff. Like, they're afraid to change. They're afraid of loss because of the ideas of democracy. And quickly, this is the Lion team is also afraid of just losing in general. And quickly, the red team is encouraging the blue team to do something about this because they realize that they could just win this war, but they could just gain a lot more land back. And they realize that the blue team, they should probably strengthen up their allies because their ally is pretty weak. So they're deciding to roll some Chinese troops into this. The Chinese pledge their support to the blue team invasion. Now, I have found these guys an invasion color. Quickly, they invaded, starting to take a lot of land out of the live team, and the live team is looking pathetic compared to the nations. They're looking pathetic compared to the nations they're fighting up against. And this quickly showing as this is getting more and more concerning. As quickly the Alive team is starting to fall out of their number 7 place they just got in the last episode. After they became number 1, they had just came number 1 in a couple episodes ago, and now they're already fighting to keep that spot, though they're losing the fight. Kind of like how Mesopotamia did, though this time there is no allies to help. Like how Mesopotamia had all its friends helping, though there is a new pocket opening up. Because this new pocket, well, this new rebellion actually wants something concerning to the Line Team government currently. They want to be under the religion of paganism. They want to become a paganist nation, to be to have their religion recognized on the international stage. Though the religion of paganism is not doing too hot right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get their wish of becoming a paganist nation. But quickly, the blue team makes an ultimatum, and so do all their allies. Looking at the capitals and major cities there, the blue team is going to make a huge demand, demanding that they get all this in occupation, and they are forced to accept. Now these guys join in the deal. They claim a bunch of desert. Well, they just claim a bunch of nothing burger. Yeah, they just claim a big nothing burger, but it's fine. Now, what is the purple team going to claim? Are they going to be reasonable with their claim? Or are they not going to be reasonable? Anyway, quickly, the purple team actually is going to decide to start invading it over here, too. Quickly, their invasion into this country has become more and more of a success, trying to free people of their paganist faith, as they are saying paganism is a broken ideology slash religion, and people being forced to it is not a good thing. And quickly, now back over to the purple team. It took them a while to get their claims in, but they ultimately decide to block off the spread of paganism. They're going to do this. They're blocking off the paganists of each other just to pain the paganists. It took them a while to make this decision, but their occupation is going to look something like this. Just to lock the paganists for each other, and quickly this paganist pocket falls, and yeah, this point paganism is losing followers. The paganist faith down here is starting to collapse as they realize their government also is forcing them to this faith. They can't be happy with this faith knowing they can't choose not to pursue it. They have to have a choice, they feel. The people over here start rebelling against the rebellion, and that's just how you know it's bad, when a rebellion starts rebelling against a rebellion. Basically, your country's toast when rebellions start rebelling away from rebellions. When rebellions are facing civil war inside of your civil war, you know it's toast. You just know it's over. GG, it's over. I really must say it's just over at this point for you. Quickly, these guys just are going to be taking all of this land and being smart, rebelling away from the government. And they are currently being betrayed by the Lime team is cooked now that their government is rebelling away from their government, away from their government. This war is just turning out terribly for the Lime team. But the Lime team decides to do something terrible. The Lime team is going to take away all of their people's freedoms. It's a dictatorial oligarchy. On the stability layer, on the ideology layer, you may notice that they're a dictatorial oligarchy. They're no longer a dictatorial oligarchy. They're no longer a dictatorial oligarchy. The Line team's new ideology is fascism. They're now a fascist nation, and yeah, it's not going too well for the Line team. The Line team has basically lost all respect they had from any other nations, and now looking at the military alliances. The nations that the Line team used to be in alliance with, first to leave is Caucasia / Caspia. Well, I'm calling them, yeah. Now that this Caspia is gone, next is this country, next is this country, next is this country. And you can't have an alliance by yourself. So the alliance has disbanded, and the Line team's last hope at defending themselves with their ally support is gone. Really, I should layer back on the coalitions, just so you notice. Now, countries are shocked by the sudden declaration that they're now a fascist nation, and this really shocks them so much to the point where they forced the Line team to sit down and negotiate a treaty where they could take a ton of land, and they ultimately get a treaty known as the Treaty of Garzarosa. And now these guys actually just take control over this territory. And now, oh, they take this, and this kind of is not going well. Or the rebellions are hat in pockets. You gotta surrender, bro. Oh, speaking of surrender, you're also losing. And every country in the world is noticing something. The alarm team can't really even fight back anymore. So if you border the alarm team, you should take advantage of the fact that the alarm team just can't fight you anymore. They actually take complete advantage of this. The pink team takes a hefty claim. They take a huge claim out of this lime empire. The dark gray team realizes the gray team, well, I'm just gonna call them the gray team, that they need to take land fast, and so they start taking more land. Oh. Oh, I guess that's fine. Going crazy, that's fine. Quickly, these guys retake occupation of their old rebellion territories, and quickly the Grey Team is saying that their country is winning up against the Lime Team, and the Lime Team is now not so impressive of a country to win over. And democracy is fighting against fascism. So these guys are using a bunch of terrible war strategies. And the blue team has to go in, start marching into these cities. They agreed to make peace, but not with a fascist dictator. The dictator declared martial the dictator and the dictatorial oligarchy declared martial law. But at this point, the Lime Team is realizing that the blue team is making an operation into its capital. The capital has been captured by the blue team. The blue team is doing quite well in their advances. And in the ending days for the Lime Team, the Lime Team does something shocking. It's something that no nation before him has done. That isn't on this. They join the Diamond Pact, even though, again, they're not. Oh, member of the religion. Yet, even though they don't follow the same religion, they still are allowed in. And though this country is a different story, they do follow the religion, but they're just now being let in because they're worried about this whole Middle Eastern war. As quickly, the Lime Team is just falling apart. Everything is going terribly for a lot. Everything is just going terribly for them. And the Lime Team, at this point, is not declaring loss. Instead, they declare something shocking. They declare that they know things about India that India doesn't want you knowing. They release a pair of files that show some really concerning things that are happening inside India. And India, over here, is quickly going to go down. No! Go down in stability. They're going down in stability fast because they realize that their government is evil for doing this. For doing a certain action. So quickly, these guys lose all stability. All that good stability they had is kind of uh, out the out the drain. Has gone down the drain. And anyway, over here, the stability of the world has been getting overall worse. Though somehow the red team has managed. They've somehow managed something shocking. Not losing any stability. They're a really stable nation. The most stable nation in the world. They're tied for the most stable nation in the world, which is kind of shocking. Now, India's stability. The Indian instability is caused by what this message says, that India is no longer, is not really a democratic society. Your votes don't count. They don't count your votes when they do elections for new oligarchs. They don't count the votes you make. You may think your vote, every vote is being counted, but really no one's vote is being counted. And India is like, oh crud. So quickly, India does something again. They quickly erase this. Their ideology is gone. They went to a, when they, and the dictator reports himself, but they never realized this. So now these guys do something shocking. Their dictator declares martial law. These guys too turn to this evil ideology. There might be a reason, there might not be a reason. But right now, there is another evil fascist nation in the world. And this quickly does this, and this doesn't slide with the Lightning Bolt Alliance. They quickly kick out India and they say, leave the alliance fast. You better be leaving their alliance, our alliance. And now checking the military alliance layer, same thing happens with the Star Alliance. They kick them out. And India is left to rot by their allies. As they're in a dark red stability, and what does that mean? India is collapsing. The collapse of the Indian Empire is a a really shocking thing. The rise of the fascist Indian Empire, this fascist dictatorship in India, is quickly going to rise up. People are going to rise up against it. And some of the oligarchs that are appointed by the dictator are furious because they lost their position. So the southern areas of the country breaks away. Quickly, India is really not doing well, as India also is going over to this country and they're like, screw it. We are going to be releasing our occupation zone of the yellow team. The yellow team, we are releasing the occupation we have of it. It is going to be, we are not giving over our zone to anybody. We're just going to be leaving zone empty, and yeah, it's really cold. For a country to do this, and yeah. Quickly, the yellow team is going to be, the yellow team is going to be saying that their rise to power was all them. They forced India's hand into giving them back their land. Quickly, these guys are starting to invade back, and without Indian forces here, the front line's going to shift towards these guys. Though, meanwhile, another big power is going to be losing this war as well. So yeah, the troops of justice, the troops that are being sent in by countries. Anyway, the troops that are going to be sent by them are going to be this color. Basically, their troops sending are this color. Oh, I guess not. They can't send troops. But their troops mix in with the democratic forces. So, yeah, the democratic forces are quickly capturing a ton of land. This is starting to make me think that this country is starting to be the bad. Why is this happening? Oh boy, I have to figure this all out. Okay. So I guess not happening. Instead, the red team captures the main capital of this union, and things start collapsing in on themselves. First to go is the city, then this city, and everything starts collapsing. The collapse of this country is a shock to many, a shock to most. Yeah, this is not going too well. The whole world is starting to become. Yeah. Anyway, this quickly starts going into this country, and these guys invade. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, I am now back, and these troops are here are getting annihilated. And at this point, this religious union, whatever's left of it, starting to fall over. More and more people start realizing that their nation is just a sham and they're collapsing. Oh, I know why this is. Oh, no. Yeah, now these guys are starting to lose or something. And this capital got erased. Oh, well, that's fine. These guys didn't really need to be here. They weren't an important part of the plot besides. or the allegiance they had. Yes, they had to keep fighting. And we're gonna take a selfie with these. And yeah, now these guys are this country reeling from the effects of this. As now this rebelled away from the country, and at this point, these guys are not even what they originally were. Now they're just be a, and these guys came out on the other side of the war as a defeated nation. The defeated nations of the world. The nations that are being defeated. And at this point, the Diamond Coalition is weakened so much to the point where it can barely exist. It's weird for what countries are in this coalition, and frankly, the Lion team and these guys lead the coalition because they kind of can't. These guys are all still in the war, just not under one flag anymore. So basically, that means they're gonna lose. You're united, you're divided. What's going on in here? And for the first time in a while, these guys are completely invaded. These guys quickly go over here and take some of this, all of this. And yeah, now this is what the world looks like. It looks very weird. Definitely what's going on right now is very strange. Seeing all of this occur. The collapse of every country over here. All these countries collapsed, and now this coalition is still here. Now, one thing you'd have to wonder is why are they still fighting? And now one thing that's going on is there any... Oh my gosh, there's now a mega nation. The nation of the Middle East. Just kidding, but the country that ends up taking it. Oh, nobody can take it. Without taking the nations around it, but quickly. And this land is kind of getting destroyed. And at this point, the losers of this war, these guys are on the side of the losers of this war. And these guys are simply have a coup happen in their country where the people take control over the government. Going to ideology layer. You see this? The people take control of the government. Freedom and liberty is restored to their country as they fight as a South Arabian nation, and the defeats in the Middle East are really bad. How much defeat has happened here for the Lion team, and India is in full-on collapse mode over here. And the ideology layer is starting to show the collapse of the ideology that is known as beginners. I genuinely forgot what the ideology was called, and I'm like, I can't be forgetting details about my own series. No, I'm too young for this. I don't want to forget my whole series. No, quickly, these guys actually take. Oh, and I gotta do this. Quickly, this country is winning the war. Now, these guys also are doing the same thing. No, they do a lot of the same thing. Quick, that the blue team did. Which leaves them down here, and I'm going to leave them here because I don't want to be lazy and go back to other save files to get the color back. Someone agrees with me. Now this, and yeah, just so you know, these are our undefeated nation. So there's no one left to fight. Yeah, there's no one left for these nations to fight. And they all come to make peace in the capital of the red team until an argument begins between the Eastern Allies and the Western Allies over some things, over some issues that they have with each other, and this is not going well. Checking the coalitions layer. I think the world is starting to go into a point where things are not going well for it. Now, countries are going to be facing, these guys are going to face off with the Gear Coalition. And the first gear member is these guys, then these guys doing the gear. Fast, quickly joined by these guys, then these guys. Now, the next member is going to be country you wouldn't be expecting to join in. These guys. Now, another member joining in is these guys, followed by an ally others being these guys. And yeah, the whole world is seeing this as a bad thing. As now, these two coalitions both exist, and they both all argue over who and what will happen when, who gets what and where, and who won the war. These two sides of the coalition are still under the actually they're still under the Lightning Bolt Alliance. They're just now going to be known as the East and West Lightning Bolt pact. And this is very getting heated inside of their own alliance. The alliance that exists now is heating up. Things are getting crazy. Or in Hunger Games terms, fire is catching. The world in this world. Sorry about that. And yeah, things are not going well. And now a new rebellion breaks away from the pink team, being known as the Gold Rebellion. Now there's still the pink team civil war, in which ultimately the pink team is losing. And yeah, ultimately they call for the end of the war inside of their nation. And in the next episode, we are going to do a peace treaty. But for now, let's do a good old-fashioned power rankings, including rebellions, because the rebellions that won, the war. Now let's just make this, increase the size to 2,000. Oh! Civilization no longer exists in this portion of the world. Man, my civilization started over. I took civilization. I took that personally. Now, I realized I was on the wrong thing, so now we are on the right thing. And the power rankings are going to go as follows. Number 1, strongest country in the world, is China. Now surpassing the red team. Because China didn't sacrifice a ton of troops to fight the war, besides for all like other people's friends. Number 2 is the red team. Now number 3 is a hard choice, but number 3 ultimately goes over to the nation that I like to call Turkey, though it's not really Turkey. Their capital, I think, is in Turkey, but barely. Now number 4 is going to be an interesting one because there's not really a country I find like worthy of 4th place. Now that like all the other strong countries are like gone. But in my mind, number 4 would probably go to these guys. Number 5, these guys. Number 6 would probably go to this country, this Indian rebellion. That's in 2 parts, but I'm gonna give them both 6. The 7th one is, I'd say, is this country. 8th place is this country. 9th place goes to them. 10th place goes to them. Now this is where things get interesting. 11th place. The 11th strongest country in the world is probably going to be these guys. Oh, this occupation right here is between both of them. these two countries, they were both too similar of a color. Major color is. Now 12 is going to be this country that is rebelling. That rebelled. 13, for the first time in a while, is probably going to be the blue team. Because the blue team has invaded all of this. 14 now is going to be an interesting one. 14, I'd have to say 14 goes to these guys. 15, these guys. 16, these guys. 17, these guys. 18, these guys. 19, these guys. Or rather, I feel like these guys are deserving of 19th place. With 20 being these guys. Now 21. I feel 21 is an interesting choice. I feel these guys worthy of 21. 22. Oh, what? That went on to the wrong. Sorry, I went to an old save file. No, India's still strong. 24. These guys still exist. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. Wait, no, not 31 again. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. Not 8. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. I'm gonna shorten this. I gotta switch the places of these two. 41. 42. 43. 'Good thing I looked. 44. Finally, as the weakest country in the world, 45 is Cyprus. This is the updated power rankings of the world. Take it in now as power has shifted in the world. As now, one major change is that the Lime team doesn't exist. So they might exist in the Peace Treaty, though I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's the end of today's episode. Oh, wait. Wait, no, there's still a country left. Now that's the end of today's episode, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Or at the beginning of the episode will be Peace Treaty time. And yeah, it's going to be wild. How this peace treaty looks. You might like it or you might hate it. I don't know. I just wanted to change things up a lot in the world's borders. And I'll see you in the next episode of What If Civilization Started Over. And good. Bye. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.